All right, guys, it's that time to discuss what I'm buying this month. And with the market and many of our favorites going on mind-bending runs, it's absolutely slowed my buying down. But that doesn't mean there are no other stocks that are on a discount and great buys today. As a matter of fact, that's not true at all. So I'll give you those stocks specifically that I'm targeting today and the why behind each pick. So we got a lot to get into today. So make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth without the hype, because that's exactly what you're going to get today. Now remember, guys, these are just the stocks that I'm specifically targeting right now. They are on the biggest discount based upon my valuation. It is the most important thing you can do is to make sure you're viewing things based upon your valuation, what you're putting on there. So to me, they are the best deals for me right now. My plan for my portfolios and the stocks that I want to buy, that is so critical. And that's going to be different for each one of us. So there might very well be better stocks out there, stocks that you guys understand that I don't understand at all. That's okay. I'm not saying that there aren't other great stocks out there. The only thing that I can speak to are the ones that I'm looking to buy right now today. That's what you guys clicked on, so I'm giving that to you guys. Now, a little bit of a word of caution about what's going on right now. It is earnings season and valuations are very rich. So any sort of miss or just not strong enough guidance or just the fact that it's a Tuesday randomly could send some of the high flyers down and put them back in range to buy before I release this list again. But I can't try to predict who's going to do what, when, where, and how. That's an impossible game to play. We all know you can't time the market. If I knew that sort of stuff, I'd be a trillionaire, but I don't know that sort of stuff, so I'm not. So I have to go by the list as they stand today, price-wise, and I will adjust accordingly as needed. And if you want to watch earnings calls live with me and see exactly when I buy or see my watch list complete with price targets, the earnings flash sale is live where you can see all of that and get your free coaching, free courses, and so much more. We'll talk about it at the end, but it's the pinned comment down there for those of you guys that are interested. All right, let's jump into the list right here and see if we got any surprises for you this month. So first up is PayPal. I know I just put it first on there. I'm just going to get it out of the way. Matter of fact, I might just leave it on the list there forever. It just seems like it just needs to be here. It just needs to live here. No matter what the stock does in the future, it's going to live here. It just can't seem to get started. It'll get on a little bit of a run, then it just seems like it pulls back harder than the rest of the market. It never runs as well as the rest of the market has won. And it just takes time. I got view things from those fundamentals. I've liked everything that's going on with it. I've liked their earnings. I've liked what Alex and his team over there are doing. I've liked everything about it. Just it unfortunately has not picked up that traction yet. And unfortunately, I have plenty of shares as well. So I'm not adding a lot here. Yes, it's on a great discount, but I have plenty of shares of PayPal. I need no more. So that's kind of where I stand on it right now. Of course, we'll have to see what earnings says. Maybe that's just finally we get the catalyst that we need. Maybe we get some adjusted guidance that sends it up. Who knows at this stage? I don't know. It's PayPal. We call it PayPal. So I don't know. It'll probably have great guidance, incredible guidance, and it'll go down. That just seems to be the way it moves. Seems to be our luck there with PayPal, but that's kind of the first stock on the list. I figured I'd get that one out of the way. Next up is Amazon. It is still trading at one of its cheapest valuations ever. Why? Nobody can freaking tell me why, outside of the fact the market once again ignored this for a bunch of other trash. And now they're just now starting to come back around to, oh yeah, maybe Amazon is a great company. Oh yeah, maybe AWS is a really good product. I mean, I don't know, guys. You can't make this sort of stuff up in regards to Wall Street. I don't think there's anybody here that doesn't believe they're going to be a much larger 5 years from now from they are today, that AWS is going to continue to grow. They have a whole lot of new initiatives out there to include advertising and a lot of other things like that, which we all know those are very high margin products that are going to obviously continue to push that EPS number up as well. And the way Amazon kind of spends, they like to spend forward in the business, which is why it's always traded rich. It's also why they don't spit off profits like a lot of other folks do. It means that we may very well, if they get enough out of that advertising limb, might very well be able to make that next big push, but not see the EPS erosion like we've seen in the past whenever they put that money back into the business as well. That would be incredible and be a big boon for the stock and allow us to have a sustained run with Amazon. But for me, anything under $200 is a buy. I love Amazon, love everything that they're doing. You just can't ask for a better company. I think it's going to be a big money maker for me long-term, obviously. Next up is Meta. You want to talk about an example of a stock where the narrative and the media narrative around it and all the other stuff around social media especially has just been ridiculously wrong the entire time. Meta is that company. Now, I'm not saying Zuck is likable or anything else like that. He's not. I would agree there completely. But everybody was calling it a trash company back in 2022 because, I don't know, reasons, despite the fact they're printing money. It's an incredible business model. Nobody does ads better than Meta does outside of Google. They're 1 and 1A right there. You guys know that. We talk about it all the time here. But yet the narrative is always, it's not a good company. He's not a good CEO. I don't like them. He's not likable. Well, who freaking cares? It's a business. We're buying a business. The fact is, they have more users than anybody out there in regards to social media, right? More than 3 billion are out there. Oh, and by the way, that number is growing all the time, if you can believe that. So obviously, and those are active users. So obviously people don't hate their products that much. Everybody talk about hating it, but I don't know, like half the world literally uses their products, maybe even more than that now. It just is what it is. Those are facts. And now we got huge news with WhatsApp monetization, which I know a lot of folks here in the US don't understand that, but WhatsApp is massive. Everywhere else in the world except for the US, they use it for doctor's appointments. They use it for just chatting back and forth with friends. They don't text like we do here. It's used for everything in regards to just basic life in the rest of the world. So massive, massive opportunity there that's just now starting. Not printing money to the bottom line yet, but we know it's going to print money to that bottom line. Also keep in mind, all the tariff noise and all the other craziness, geopolitical stuff going on out there really have no effect on their business overall. So another reason why, regardless of whether we have a recession or a trade war, whatever the case is, Meta is going to continue to print money. And another reason why I love the company. They are also leaning into the future with crazy AI spend, but yet guess what you're going to see? You're going to see massive bottom line profits despite that crazy AI spend because they print that much money. I know, like I said, I don't like Zuck either, but I don't freaking care. To say he's a bad CEO or he doesn't know how to run a business or anything else of that nature that's been put out there is just simply not true. I buy stocks in order to make money in the end, and buying great companies is what we do. You don't always have to like the CEO, but I really like CEOs that know how to run businesses and make me a lot of money, and that's exactly what Meta has done. And finally, we have Google. Guys, I cannot figure out for the life of me why everyone thinks it's behind. They are the leader in their space, bar none. Nobody does search better, nor ads as well, outside of Meta, right? We just talked about that. When we're talking about search, oh, okay, you want to say, well, Google search isn't really doing well. Well, number 2 is YouTube search. Oh, and by the way, Google owns YouTube. So it's just simply amazing. ChatGPT was supposed to kill it 3 years ago. I don't know. Google search has been growing by double digits. I know the movement around earnings didn't make a lot of sense. That's just kind of part of this whole earnings game. I understand that completely. And I understand the narrative has been, hey, they're not up to date on the AI race, which is amazing to me how sometimes they're behind and they're getting left behind. And then all of a sudden then they're ahead one week. And I don't know who's ahead in the AI race seems to change all the time. So do the goalposts, so do everything else. We've said it repeatedly for years right here on this channel. There is going to be hundreds of winners with AI. AI is just not LLMs. There's going to be hundreds, maybe even thousands of ways to monetize AI in the future. And lots of folks are going to print billions upon billions of dollars in all those little different things there. So to say somebody's ahead or behind, there's no way to even do it yet, because how the heck do you measure it? If you're just simply measuring it by LLMs, that's like during the tech bubble days saying the company that was going to win the internet was going to be the one that had a website that had, multiple web pages on it or something stupid like that. I don't know. It's just silliness at this stage. You're trying to judge it based upon one little thing right here when the entire world is going to be much larger than any of us can imagine in 5 years. But yet we're all trying to make snap judgments today on who's ahead, who's behind. How the heck do you define it? If you can tell me how to define it, great. Then we can actually have a conversation about who's ahead and who's behind. But to say it's just simply LLMs and which LLM is the best, is the leader in AI, I don't know. I can't buy that one because what about NVIDIA's LLM? I think they're crushing it right now in AI. What about Palantir's? I think they're crushing it right now. But I can't go to Palantir's website and, punch in a prompt and, create a cool little picture with me, with a hat on and sitting on a Lamborghini or something. So are they behind now? I don't think so. That's what I'm trying to say. There's so many different ways to win. There's no way to quantify any of this. And more importantly, nobody has figured out how to monetize it outside of an NVIDIA, outside of a Palantir. Obviously, Google Ads is probably monetizing a little bit off Gemini, but we don't know how much yet. And that's really what matters, not all this other stuff. LLMs can become commoditized, and now where are you at, right? Nobody cares if you're not making any money on the bottom line for it. So these are all things that all have to play out over time. This is why I don't run down those narratives. I simply look at the company, look at how wonderful they're executing, seeing that the narrative around search is dying is not true, because you can't have double-digit growth if you're dying, right? Especially in something as large as what search is. Can't have it otherwise. So you got to ignore those narratives, look at valuation, understand what the company brings, are they executing or not, and then move forward. And for me, Google is absolutely doing that. And so I'm going to happily add shares. I'm just basically doing a little bit of a DCA here, and I've been doing it for a few months now. And I'll just continue to add it if Wall Street wants to get done with this stock. And remember, the earnings flash sale is live and ends soon. If you want to see all my buy and sell alerts in real time, you want the complete watch list with price targets, you want to take 5 courses for free, get your free coaching, be able to talk to me anytime you want. Be part of the best 6, 7, 8 figure Discord out there. We got all kinds of portfolio challenges out there going on. Obviously, we put 3, 4, 5 videos a week, just simply that go to the group, nobody else. We do earnings calls live just simply for group members. Guys, there's so much involved. Make sure you check out the pinned comment and see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.